Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 172 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Already off to a legendary start. Our guest is not Pugnaceous from the Dads of Destiny. It is Pugnacious's jersey. Number 45, sitting in the back there. That's right. Legendary number coming in, holding down the show this week to tell us all about the Dads of Destiny, all about the raid groups that jersey alone has carried. You would not believe the kinds of war stories that jersey can tell. The Vault of Glass, Crota's Inn. It soloed Crota's Inn. It carried the entire Dads of Destiny. It got the entire website. Not just a six-man fire team. The entire website jumped into the sleeves, or the sleevelessness, rather, of that jersey. It flew him across the gap, took him straight to Crota, gave those hands. You know why Skolas and the House of Wolves didn't get a raid? That jersey soloed him. That's why they didn't get a raid in House of Wolves. It's specifically because of the 45 jersey, and Pugnacious is back. Oh, man. It's going to be great when he gets those headphones on. Yo, Mr. Pugnacious, welcome back, sir. Welcome back. That's all right. I want you to know.
Piss poor planning, huh?
No, it was great. We were just here telling the story of the jersey in the back of your in the back wall there behind you. About how
epic ballad.
The epic ballad of that jersey. Cool. Oh, let us know. Because we were making things up.
Oh, yeah. I got the privilege of going to one of the Eagles training camps, and we had a jersey exchange. Yeah, it's part, one of the perks of being an active duty Coast Guard, to get to go do some cool stuff every once in a while. So that was one of them. I got a jersey from one of the guys on the team, signed it, and ran around with my autographed football and tried to get as many people to sign as I possibly could.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, well, first off, thank you for your service to our country, man. I always appreciate a man of the military, regardless of what branch they're in. Yeah, those weren't even stories we were telling about his jersey. That jersey actually did carry the entire website Dads of Destiny through Crota's Inn. It did.
Yep.
That jersey did.
All by itself. Yeah.
All by itself, number 45. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. No, did it without it popped Crota's shield with its bare hands.
That's icebreaker.
Oof.
No icebreaker, no galley.
That's what we're talking about. Guardian Legends right then and there. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest on today's episode, Mr. Pugnacious. The one and only Dads of Destiny. Yo, thank you for joining us tonight, man. It's great to have you here.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be on here and have a conversation with you guys and get to talk about a couple of things we're doing in about a week, I guess. Not even a week. So
right on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I mean, you've Dads of Destiny. It's been a pretty big group, really, since the game first came out, and you've got a lot of things going on. So why don't you take a little bit of time to talk about specifically what's going on next weekend and anything else you'd like to bring up.
Next weekend, so next weekend we've got our Breathe Easy stream event benefiting cystic fibrosis. We're working with the Boomer Esiason Foundation. This will be our second year working with them, and that's been a great pleasure. First of all, Gunnar Esiason, one of the main advocates with the company that I've actually had a pretty good conversations with, actually on our podcast over at Dads of Destiny. Man, very well-spoken individual, good guy, very prompt in his responses. If you have questions, whatever the media is that you're contacting him on, good group of people. They're super busy. They tend not to deal with the online community so much. We're kind of a new thing for them, so we're all learning together on it. And it's been pretty successful. Last year we did really well, getting just short of $12,000 to him over the course of 3 days. So
great.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun event. And this year we're shooting to go for 30,000. So that's the goal this year.
Heck yeah.
Right on, dude.
Yeah, it's good. You got your work cut out for you, Dan. It's gonna happen.
Oh, I have the early morning shift, so you guys don't worry. It'll all be done by the time my shift ends that first day. Whew. I got the sloth head. Got the charity sloth head ready to roll.
Oh no, my gosh.
We got a prop. Taking the cues from Static from last year with the panda suit.
You just got to blow it all out. It's for a good cause. For like comfort be damned. Just Let's roll. I'm ready.
Do you have gloves to go with it, like mittens?
I do not. I just have the hat. I just have the head, and it is quite warm in there from last recollection.
Oof. We don't have to talk about that. That's like after offline conversation.
What happens in the sloth head stays in the sloth head, right, Dan?
I haven't watched it yet.
Good luck next weekend, my friend.
Everybody's face. Everybody's face. Oh my god.
Good luck. You're a man of.
The door was open. I mean, it was bound to happen. I guess.
Just kind of kick that door down is what he did. But all right, man. I respect your grind, then, Dan. I don't want to ever smell what your face is gonna smell like after next Saturday. But all right, man. I got much love. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You know, specifically when it comes to the Destiny community and charity live streams, this community is incredible. They always blow it out of the water whenever it comes to stuff like this. So I'm really hoping a significant portion of the Destiny community, our guardians out there, show up to support this because it's a good cause. It is absolutely a good cause. And if you want to take a little bit of time to talk about it, talk about the Dads of Destiny, I'd love to hear about how you got into Dads of Destiny and the entire story behind all that.
So originally started, I don't know if you guys remember the article from a few years ago during the Destiny 1 saga. However, there's a kid that was playing a game and he did a share play thing with somebody and his account got erased basically. The guy that shared with him just went in and wiped everything. Young kid, and that was the first I had heard of Dads of Destiny was through that article that they had done. And a couple of the Dads of Destiny guys got in there and said, hey, we'll go through and we'll run him through everything and help him get all of his gear back. And I thought, man, that's pretty cool. So that immediately kind of sparked my interest in the group. And then I finally ran into a couple of guys. I can't remember who it was, but we were playing Crucible and I was playing against them, actually. Didn't work well for me, but nonetheless, I sent a message to the guy when I saw his gamer tag and the clan that he was in and asked him, hey, I don't know, because I was new to clans and kind of really the whole gaming scene, I guess, on online and stuff like that. I had done PS3, God of War, things like that, but never really gotten into the online gaming stuff. So that was my first experience with it. Kind of learned what clans were all about and got in with Dads of Destiny. And the rest is history, as they say. But
heck yeah.
Yeah. So I guess Dads of Destiny since about 6 months into year one of Destiny 1. So
damn, that's pretty awesome. You guys go way back.
That's pretty good. That's way back, man.
Yeah, I mean, for Destiny, yeah.
That counts, man. It absolutely counts. Yeah. That's like the perfect initiation for a gang right there. You went up against a stack in Crucible and was like, hey guys, can I join?
I got beat up a little bit. And so.
About how it works, right? You get jumped right into the group. That's awesome, dude. I think there were a lot of articles about Dads of Destiny back then. I remember some, I swear, on maybe Kotaku, Polygon, stuff like that, about the Dads of Destiny and that group. And I remember specifically that story. I've always been somebody who's been really tuned into the Destiny the Game subreddit. I spent a lot of time there, especially back in D1. And I remember seeing that story on the front page about the kid who just had all of his stuff deleted. And, you know, it was like a progression of sorrow. First, it was this guy who got all his stuff deleted, and it's like, don't game share. I can never game share with anybody again.
Yeah.
And then the story progresses, and it's like a group of people came together to help him get all his stuff back. And that's the kind of thing I love about this community, man.
It hits you in the feel goods, you know? So,
it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. That was a pretty cool thing to see happen, you know, and then as far as the Breathe Easy stuff goes, I didn't really get involved until last event, and just kind of I saw something going on and I was like, hey, what can I do? And kind of jumped in, and I might have thrown a couple elbows here and there, just, you know, trying to be helpful, you know. I'm not a waiter for things, so I kind of get a little pushy with things, which I suppose is kind of a necessary evil in these kind of things, because it takes a lot of, you know, for every one person you get involved into that, you probably go through 10 to 15 people that you're asking to help out. So
well, how many people are streaming this year?
I want to say the number that we had was 19.
Wow.
we had a couple short blocks that kind of added in a couple extra streamers than we
Mhm.
had last year. But I had it pulled up here a second ago, but I can probably give it a count. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking at a couple guys streaming a couple times, but
Yeah. Well, heck, man, like that's an amazing feat. It's like it's got to be like wrangling cats for you guys. Like I've only ever been on the streaming end of it instead of like the behind the scenes production of a large stream event like this. So it's got to be like, all right, are you ready? Like coming in.
It's like having a kid. Like the doctor tells you you're having a kid, and you're kind of like, oh man, all right, this is happening. And then every month goes by, or like it's getting closer, but it's not really close yet. And then it's like a few months out, and you're like, oh man, we're running out of time. And then next thing you know, it's like right on your front doorstep, knocking with a package, like, hey bro, this thing's gonna blow up as soon as I hit it. And I mean, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun. It's very rewarding. You put in a lot of work. There's a lot of people involved. There's so many people involved. It's not even funny how many people are actually helping out with everything and keeping everything organized. I'm just kind of I'm just the loudest voice out of it, I guess. And, so
you're the face.
Everybody hears the dog barking in the neighborhood, but nobody notices everybody else is quiet. So
yeah.
There's a lot of hands involved into it, and it's probably a good 6 to 7 months worth of work that all comes together on 3 days, and it always works out, but it's like when you have that kid, it's like, I don't gotta hold his head, keep it close.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's really it's incredible work that you guys are doing with this, and you're absolutely right. There's a lot of moving cogs that have to kind of be greased up and pushed into motion sometimes. But it's great that you guys are pushing this sort of thing off. We've got all sorts of questions for you, as both a representative of the Dads of Destiny and just as an individual gamer out there. What drew you to the Destiny franchise? What was your start in this crazy world of ours?
Man, probably commercials on TV. To be honest with you,
do it.
I played God of War, the whole series, all the way through the PS3 days and stuff like that, and then I kind of course, Call of Duty and things like that with buddies that I worked with and things, which was awesome, but it kind of grew stale. They kept kicking out stuff, and it just the quality of it kind of went downhill. As I'm sure anybody who was a fan of the series, or the game knows. There's good ones, there's bad ones, and I just kind of lost interest and kind of fell off the wagon for a while, so to speak. And then Destiny came out, and I was like, I'll pick that up. It looks pretty cool. Pop the disc in, and the first when you're over top of Earth and you see the ship and stuff in there, I was like, "Oh, dude, this thing is." And from that moment, I was hooked, and I literally rolled into that game playing 6 months by myself. Like I didn't know the whole clan thing at all. So, once I got into the DoD thing, then I started actually getting away from just sitting in the tower and waiting for a group of 5 people sitting there like they look like they're gonna raid. I'm gonna try to jump in with them.
Yep.
Which worked, for a while. I got in with a raid group that happened like that, but it was so toxic at times, and I figure, I get in a group of guys, and at least if it's toxic at times, I can tell them to fuck off, So
whole lot of that going on.
Yeah.
I like the way you think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Anyways, so
it is what it is,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much what drew me in for sure. I think was the commercials, and then getting that disc in for the first time and kind of just seeing it. And, wow, a lot of stuff to do. Didn't even know what I was doing. So
yeah, I mean that's the story for a lot of us here. I mean, I've told this story several times on this show. I didn't really have that much interest in Destiny when I started playing it. I got in to the beta, thought it was pretty cool, but it's funny you mentioned Call of Duty. I remember that year I was all psyched about Advanced Warfare. I thought that was going to be the greatest thing ever, and poof. Ooh, boy. Ain't hindsight a bitch, but thank goodness Destiny came out, you know.
$50 missing out of the
Yeah, oh man, I'm never getting that back. Never getting that $60 back. But you know what?
I luckily got my Advanced Warfare copy for free for Activision, so that was pretty good.
Did
so
you give it back?
I honestly, I don't even know what happened with it.
Nice.
That's all right, because Destiny came out, you know, played the beta, loved it, got into the game, and haven't looked back since. It's a fantastic franchise, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get it.
So, I mean, you know, obviously you've been playing since D1. You've played through D2. I'm sure you've got all kinds of opinions about D2 throughout year one, but let's start in a happy place. At least hopefully a happy place. What are your thoughts on Forsaken as a whole?
I'm digging it. Like we're kind of talking about it before, you know, the grind is back and it's back in a good way. It's not just go do the same thing over and over like it was early on in D2. And if I feel like they got it back to where it was bringing everybody back into the game that was in it originally. And on top of that, if they would have just gave us this from the start, man, this thing would be so much bigger than it is right now. But I mean, it's gonna get there. You know, maybe it won't, maybe it will, but it's definitely back to what it should have been. So.
Yeah, I'd have to absolutely agree with you.
I feel like Dan's got something to say there.
No, I agree. Yeah, if we had this, I don't think that you'd see some of the exodus that we saw right after the first month of the game. Honestly,
yeah,
it's so weird going back and looking at that time period too, because especially all the critical reviews for Destiny 2 were like, "Oh, it's great, it's wonderful, it's everything the first game should have been." 3 weeks later. Whoa, that candle burned out real quick.
Yeah,
real quick. At least I like to hope at least we were consistent on this show with our complaints. We probably weren't. Don't fact check us. I know there's gonna be one person on YouTube who goes back and it's like, no, you guys were like, it's the best game ever. Don't do it. Just don't go look back. Look at the future, man.
Yeah. Just keep looking forward.
It's just look forward. Look forward. We got Forsaken now.
Mirror off. Take the side views off. Just keep going forward.
A little dangerous. Don't do that on the road, but maybe with Destiny.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, though. I mean, I think the future is pretty bright with Forsaken. It's absolutely brought back a lot of the elements of the grind that I think a lot of players were missing after Destiny 1. And we're going to have some conversations tonight about some elements of the grind, right, Nim? Some elements of the RNG. Right, old buddy, old pal?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
We'll get to that in due time. Have you run the raid at all, Pug?
No, I haven't.
Yeah?
I think I'm sitting at 533 right now, which that's literally all I've been able to commit to the game since it came out. You know, Forsaken came out anyways, so.
Still a bit.
It takes a lot of time, man.
Yeah, it does. And especially if you don't, like, I feel like I don't even know how to Destiny anymore. So, I feel like I'm starting all over again, you know?
There's a lot of checklists online that I've just been monitoring, just being like, what should I do this week? Okay, there we go. And then checking that off.
I keep looking at the powerful gear, you know, the emblems on the planets, and I just keep going for that. And, you know, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. So
that's the thing. It's been a big change from year one in Destiny 2, whereas, like, you know, you log in on Tuesday, you've got 6 or 7 things to do for the week, and then you don't need to play for the rest of the week. There's way more to do in the game right now. There's an abundance of things for you to do, so much so that for some people, they just don't, there's not enough time, not enough hours in the day to get everything done, and I love that. I love that I can come to the game basically any day of the week and have something to do in the world of Destiny, some goal to grind towards, and I may not always have time to finish my milestones. I think I'm only sitting, I think I just hit 575, which is pretty high, but like there's people who are 600 right now, and I don't know how.
That explosion happened all this week. The like last week on the show, I was like, oh, there are like 3 people who are 600, and now I'm just seeing people going 600, 600, 600, 600.
It's
like
nuts.
It's lining all up this week.
Yeah, and one of the big reasons for that is because the game has been expanding further week by week. We've been getting more and more content as things go forward with the evolution of the Dreaming City, with stuff like Iron Banner and other seasonal events coming back. And this week, we had something pretty big happen in the Dreaming City, didn't we? We reached maximum corruption story-wise. If you haven't gotten to the Dreaming City, a little bit of spoilers here, just a little bit. But we had the drop of really the first big major dungeon in Destiny's history. It is tied to a hidden, or at least unmarked quest called the Shattered Throne. And it is incredible. Has everybody here had a chance to go through it?
No.
Oh, Pug. Dan, you guys are missing something crazy.
I know. I know. It looks rad as fuck. Like, I want to go in there as soon as possible, but I'm sitting at 560 light on my hunter. I'm like, I'm not going to be able to do, like, I want to do the raid next week. And like, if this is around next week, which do we know if that's a thing?
I don't think it will be.
I don't think it will be. Yeah, because it's tied
to the 4-week cycle.
Yeah, it's tied to the full curse, so you're gonna have to wait another 3-week rotation.
Fine with it. I'll be 600 by then. It's gonna.
Yeah, you'll be good.
1 week, good. I would definitely recommend at least trying the first couple of sections, Dan, because every section of the dungeon drops powerful gear. And you can absolutely, if you're in the 560s, you can absolutely do it solo or with a friend. It's absolutely possible. I got to the final encounter as a 565. That was not easy. I wouldn't recommend the last 2 encounters at 560. But
you beat the first boss as a 560?
Yes.
You are nuts, my friend.
All right. It was not easy.
No, I can't imagine it being. I mean, at that point, with the delta scaling, you must be doing like minimal damage to the ads.
I was doing very little damage. It was shotgun and super only for me in that last encounter, while relying on the people that I was with to actually do the mechanics.
That is nuts, man.
You just convinced me. I've got Tuesday morning off. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, at least do the first couple of sections. Do the labyrinth or something, because it all drops powerful gear. Absolutely worth your time. So Pug, have you even seen the Shattered Throne quest?
I sure haven't. No.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
I was sitting in the chat with the guys that were doing this stuff, and I just hear a lot of WTFs. Yep. A lot of. I mean, you just lay the list out of the things that you would say when you're just like, God damn it, man, what the hell? That's what was happening. I was listening to it. I was like, hey, man, I got to get this Nightfall done. I need some people to help me. I'm at 5:30. they're moved on. They're like, I'm kind of left in the dust. But no,
man,
it is definitely an experience that you got to go through. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll get there.
I
got to get another 30 light before I could even think about it, I think. But
it's pretty rough in there. Like, it's the highest leveled enemies in the game right now. Like, bar none. Higher than Last Wish.
Is it 590 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ends in 590.
Ends in the 590s.
That's just dumb. What's the light cap now? Because I don't
600.
even know.
600 is the max.
600.
Okay, 600. Every time I turn around, everybody's like, dude, I got 580. I'm like, I'm at 520. Yes. So I got a ways to go. All right, cool.
Yeah. Thankfully, there's plenty of ways to get there. There's plenty of things to do in the game that'll push you towards that threshold. So we won't spend too much time talking about the Shattered Throne then, because I do want it to be a surprise for you guys. But I have to congratulate Bungie and High Moon and like all the studios that helped to create Forsaken. This is a triumph. I never thought we'd see anything like this in a single player capacity within the world of Destiny. This is a dungeon. This is the kind of thing I hope we get to see more of in like Black Armory and Penumbra and the annual pass content that's going to be dropping in later months. This world space, the Shattered Throne world space, is bigger than Vault of Glass. It is a hugely expansive,
really?
Yes, it's basically a raid. It's a raid that you can go into by yourself.
It's the biggest one they've had up. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, TBL kind of walked me through it, and he was telling me that, and I'm just when he told me that it was bigger than Vault of Glass, I just sat there like, nah, is it really? Come on. But no, it is an absolutely stunning stunning dungeon. Like they did such an amazing job.
Absolutely incredible job. And every player, if you've got Forsaken, grind towards it. You might not be able to get to it by the end of this week, but you've got plenty of opportunities in the future. It'll be back. We're assuming, again, there's no confirmation that it's, at least I don't think there's confirmation that it's absolutely going to disappear, but it's probably going to disappear as the cycle resets and we go back to week 1.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be back by the end of October. You'll get another chance to go through it, and whenever you've got the opportunity, go through the Shattered Throne quest. It's how you unlock the Wish Ender exotic bow, and it is just an insane experience. It's something that you just have to just go in there and mess around with. It's really, really cool.
If that is the case, that it is on a cycle, I'm so glad that Bungie is leaning into like something that's a little like longer con.
Yeah.
Like, because like we had that with the Whisper. You know,
Yeah.
we had like a little taste of it with Whisper, where it's like, oh, okay, it's every week. Guys, you got 3 days to come pick this up. Let's go get them.
Yeah.
And like now, like if it's every 3 weeks, that's going to be an event the community goes after every cycle.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah.
Especially because I'm assuming it's going to be like some of the other repeatable content, in that running through it is going to get you drops every time it comes around. Which, okay, I'm cool with that. I'm all right with that. That's a good way to get me caught up to the 580s, 590s when it comes back around. So
yeah.
It's definitely an evolution. They were kind of easing things in with that Whisper of the Worm weekend nonsense, and now we've got an entire 3-week cycle for content in the Dreaming City. I like it, though. It's something unique to do every single week. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's like the PvE players trials, Like,
yeah. That's actually a really good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. Whereas trials was the weekend game mode for PvP. For the PvP sweats to go in and get their lighthouse gear. This is kind of like that for PvE.
I'm gonna trademark that to you.
Heard it here first.
It's a verbal trademark. It's yours.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
All the law takes. So tied to the Shattered Throne quest, of course, is the Wish Ender exotic bow. Nim, did you get your hands on it?
No, I was actually doing that this past weekend with Punky and Mega, but we got to the very last encounter and I had to dip, so I wasn't too torn up about it. But yeah, I kind of almost had it in my hands.
That's all right. You're not missing too much, as the weapon is right now.
That's what I've heard.
Is it bugged?
There's some sort of issue with it.
I think from what I hear is just the damage doesn't reflect the impact stat that it has, because apparently the impact is like maxed out, but it hits like the first bow that you get from Petra. But the thing with the Wish Ender is because the arrow over penetrates, it does damage coming in and out, but it just doesn't feel like it's as strong as it should be, for using up an exotic slot, other than the fact that you can see through walls with it.
Yeah, most people are referring to it as the Egg Ender, because that's all it's good for. Just popping taken eggs all over the place. Yeah. It's the world's most dangerous Easter egg hunt with a bow. Hopefully they'll get that worked out sometime in the future. But moving on from there, everybody, go play Shattered Throne. It's great. It's a crazy experience, and I hope you all get a chance to dive on into it. Pug, let me ask you a question real quick. Are you a PvE or a PvP guy?
Well, yeah, I'm a PvE guy right now because PvP is really hard for me right now.
Really?
This is how the screen works. I got a screen, but
you're okay.
Kind of
look like you want it in front of your microphone.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
just talk like that.
You're all good, dude. You're all
professional.
Good.
That's it. Perfect.
I got earbuds on, man. I thought it'd be funny.
No, that was good. That's perfect. That's exactly how we do it in the studio. You just hold it.
All right. Pretty much professional. Yeah. PvE is pretty much it for me right now. It's I mean, I like playing PvP. That's kind of the thing that kept me in Destiny. Probably most people in Destiny 1 for the duration of its existence. But aside from the raids, of course, which was the best for the weekends because you just go in and do drunken raid groups and go back and do Vault of Glass and Crota and with some beverages, some adult beverages. So Yeah, now it's pretty much whatever's got the little gold stars next to it. That's what I'm doing. So if it's PvP, I'm doing it. If it's PvE, I'm doing that too. So
right on. So how do you feel about some of the changes between Year 1 and Forsaken when it comes to like weapon slots and weapon damage and all that?
You know, like I said earlier, I feel like I don't even know how to Destiny. I mean, I got used to the static stuff for a while, and then I left because I just got tired of the pointless grind. And
Yeah.
God of War came out, so I put a lot of time just playing God of War for a while.
Good
and
call.
I came back.
Not a bad choice.
Nah, it's not. It's pretty awesome. And I came back, a little bit towards right before Forsaken, really. Like I hadn't done any of the escalation protocol stuff. I'd seen it, watching guys playing and streaming and stuff like that, but I just wasn't into it. My heart wasn't in it. I didn't like it as much anymore. So it just, anyways. So
yeah.
now that they've got the random rolls on things, at least what appears to be random rolls at times, but I still get a lot of the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah.
But it's better. Because at least you got the chance, It's not, it's kind of like I'm forgetting the name of it now. The when you're chasing down the crap, you're fighting the witch. It was a strike. Everybody wanted to get the
Omnigul.
Yes.
Grasp of Malak.
The Grasp of Malak. That one. It's kind of like that. You might do the same stuff over and over and over and get a bunch of crap along the way, but when you do finally get that drop, that moment. It's that. So that's exciting, but the prospect is at least there now, whereas it wasn't before. So I'm excited about that for sure. I haven't even seen some of the weapons you guys have been talking about. So like Nim was chasing. So
yeah,
they have blown the designs out of the water. I feel like for Forsaken, like everything, like there's stuff that feels like fantasy and it like high fantasy like Wish Ender, and there's stuff that just feels straight up sci-fi that I'm blown away by some of the design choices that they've made for the exotics.
Oh, okay. Forward. I was about to say like the Warlock sock helmet.
Yeah, that's a thing.
That thing is ugly.
Not everything can be as pretty as the one-eyed mask.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's so many ways to go with that.
Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you don't have as much time to play and get through everything every week. Have you at least been lucky enough to get some exotics to drop?
Not really.
Don't feel bad. Neither have we.
Not really. I got a couple of some of the old exotics that are brought back, but none of the new ones. I made a couple attempts at getting my Ace of Spades done over the weekend when I found enough, because let's be real, doing Gambit solo is just brutal.
Yeah.
Because you got the campers and then
absolutely.
It sucks. So once I got a couple of guys that were able to go in there and do it, I tried to get the jump over to the other side and get the hand cannon kills, but that just wasn't working. So now they got the new change to the hand cannon kills for that. So maybe I'll get it done this week. It's slow going for me, but
highly recommend doing it. Like doing for the Ace of Spades. It's such an excellent weapon in PvE and PvP.
Yeah.
And I mean, with them kind of relaxing the requirements, it's like
a good way to put it.
It's they finesse that a little.
Just a little bit.
It's still, I mean, like you still have to get like 25 precision hand cannon kills like down the line in Crucible. So I don't know, that's a couple games of Rumble. That's what I did. But it's such a quality weapon to get, and the mission, which is like basically the 10 10 goodbyes of Cade 6.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. It's so good.
It's pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. And thankfully, it's an exotic quest, so it's not so tied to RNG whether or not you actually get a reward from it. It's just, whenever you get it done. Definitely worth doing, though. It's a great hand cannon, and the quest that goes along with it, Dan's absolutely right. It's one of the better quests in the game. It's a very good send-off to Cade 6. Now, the reason I asked about your exotic drops is because that has definitely been a point of conversation amongst the community since Forsaken came out. Exotics are rather rare these days, aren't they? Anybody here actually gotten any new Forsaken exotics?
Ooh. That first week.
What'd you get?
It was the Oathkeepers, the arms that are now bugged. I guess.
What's wrong with them now?
I think it's something along the lines of their draw the draw time isn't really increased. I'll have to check.
Okay.
But it's
so it defeats the purpose of the gauntlet.
Well, you still get to hold it indefinitely. So that's kind of nice. But I believe, let me see here. I'm in the TWAB now, and yada yada yada. I believe it says Oathkeeper draw speed. We are investigating an issue where bow draw speed benefits granted by the Oathkeeper exotic hunter arms are not performing as expected.
So gotcha. Not at all. Not performing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and that's the only new Forsaken exotic you've gotten.
That's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Nim.
I think in week 2 or 3 of Forsaken, I got the Controverse holds for the Warlock, for the Void Warlock, and this week alone, I got the One-Eyed Mask and the Trinity Ghoul.
Okay, so you're not doing too bad when it comes to exotic drops there.
And those are
really good.
Those are just the ones that are, randomly dropped, not counting like the quest exotics.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can kind of consider the malfeasance a random drop.
Yeah. I would say you gotta work your ass off for that one, but then that one too.
You ready to talk about it?
Oh, and Queenbreaker.
Oh yeah, you got Queenbreaker. How is that?
Yeah, I got. It's so dumb.
Where are you pulling this RNG out of?
I've gotten 2 Queenbreakers to drop. It's been silly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's really silly, Nim.
I would say it's a little silly.
Yeah,
you're sitting over here rolling in golden drops, and everybody else is just trying to fend off and stop getting Winter's Guile.
Struggling away.
I know where everybody's drops are going. Straight to
Nim. Although I guess I can't really say that. This weekend I got both the Two-Tailed Fox and the Trinity Ghoul to drop.
Oof. I quit.
And
I quit.
Dan, it's like the first exotic drop I've gotten in like a week and a half, and it's weird. I swear this game, like, you use up all of your poor RNG, and then like everything dumps on you at once because it was the same day, like 2 missions apart. I got Trinity Ghoul from like a daily heroic adventure or something, and then I got Two-Tailed Fox from like Gambit immediately after. Like, all right, I guess I have to review both of these now. Short version, Trinity Ghoul's great. Two-Tailed Fox sucks in PvP.
Really?
That's it.
I'm surprised. Okay.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take. Trinity Ghoul is great. That thing is fantastic. Two-Tailed Fox is okay. The suppression is pretty nice when you're hitting an enemy that's not going to die in one shot to a rocket. It's nice to have the double explosions there. It's great for PvE. PvP, not so much.
Good to know.
It's a rocket.
I feel like you guys right now are the guy that gets another Gallahorn.
Yeah.
It right in front of the whole entire fire team.
Hey guys, look, number 7.
I already got that.
Dismantle.
I kid you not, that was me during the Dark Below era. Like I got an abundance of Gjallarhorns, and every time it was always at Iryu. Oh, not Iryu, the Death Singer.
Abundance of Gjallarhorns.
Yeah, I was always at her, and it's just like that. You see the little Gjallarhorn drop on the bottom left, and just what was the material that you got when you dismantled an exotic in D1? I can't.
Oh,
it was that green shard.
Was it a Euro
exotic shard?
Yeah, it was
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just dismantle it immediately, and like the rest of the people that I was taking through just shunned me for the rest of the raid.
As they should have.
As they should have.
As they should have.
I'll take the shun. And I'll take their exotics too.
Man. And meanwhile, I'm going through with a budget ass truth. It's not even trying to get Crota. And this dude's like, "You're not even shooting him." I'm like, "Dude, I don't got tracking." He's like, "What rocket launcher are you using?" I was like, "I don't even know the name."
It's my highest light, though. It's my highest light.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it with legendaries. I don't need your damn Gallahorn.
There you go. Just that's what grenades are for, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, I've got to say the exotic drop rate is very small in Forsaken. Like it's you feel the rarity of things. There's still a bunch of armor and stuff that I've yet to get my hands on, and that was actually something they brought up during this week's TWAB from Bungie. They talked a bit about the rarity of exotics, and they made a statement that I'm really happy to hear from. I'm very happy to hear from Bungie that they're not going to increase the drop rate of exotics. That was something I was worried they were going to do because, of course, when D2 first came out, exotics were dropping like candy. You could get those things from anything. And I don't mean to approach that from like the elitist sort of thing. I like the rarity of exotics. I think it's good. It makes them special when they do drop. But thankfully, they are going to be addressing exotic duplicates that are dropping. They're going to be trying to tone back the number of duplicates that you get your hands on so that you don't keep getting hard light over and over and over and over again anytime you actually happen to be lucky enough to get an exotic drop. Because there's nothing worse than seeing that golden engram drop on the ground after like 36 hours of play and say, "Yes, this is it." You slide right up to that thing, Skyburner's Oath.
Who's played strikes, and then the moment the chest pops open and you see an exotic engram just pop out of there, and it's just like, and you run up to and grab it, and it's an other side sparrow.
Other side sparrow. Oh, I'm gonna seem like a jackass for saying this, but when I got my Trinity Ghoul, I got it from a strike. I got another side sparrow along with it. By the way, it was a double exotic drop. I'm sorry, chat. I'm sorry. I love you. I usually do. Look, chat, you've been watching me on Planet Destiny for like almost 4 years now. You know my RNG is bad. Give me this one. Just for once. I got a double drop. That was it. That's it. I'm sorry.
That's pretty great.
I'm sorry, Pug. I'm sorry.
I feel like I've seen like 2 exotic drops, and they were both old-ass drops. Forsaken came out. I mean, I haven't lost all hope. You know, I haven't decided to pitch a tent on the street and just live out there because
might as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, just quit on life. Like I can't get good stuff, and when I do, it'll be about 3 weeks before the next DLC. So that's what happened with both the Gallahorn and the Icebreaker for me in Destiny 1.
Oh, that's pretty great.
I got them like 3 weeks. I may have bought one from Zur, might have, but I can't remember. I had no shame at that point. I was like,
I'm getting this thing, right?
I don't got it yet. That bitch is for sale. I'm getting it.
Yeah,
that's right. Ain't no shame in that game.
Nah,
that's pretty great.
Yeah, so I'm very happy to see that they're addressing the exotic duplication issue right now to make it so that when you do actually get that extremely rare exotic drop, it's not going to be something, hopefully not going to be something that you've already gotten several copies of. There's a lot of Guardians out there who have gone through all these weeks of Forsaken and not gotten a single new Forsaken exotic. And that sucks. That really sucks. So it's going to be good that they're going to be doing something about that.
Man, feel bad for those guys.
I saw
those guys.
I saw a suggestion on Reddit earlier today where they were like, someone had posted that they would, after you hit 600, they would like to see, rather than getting the prime buff, getting like an exotic buff that like rotates every like 3 days or something like that, or like a week or something along those lines. That way, like you're still getting stuff, but like it's spaced out rather than like the buff re-upping every day. You know what I mean?
So like a delayed 3 of coins.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but one that actually works.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be like a lottery type thing where every day you don't win the lottery, you get an additional
increased
ticket
chance.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? Like, so instead of yesterday you had one ticket in the game, now you got two the next day, and so on and so forth. And then once you get a drop, it resets. You know,
That'd be cool.
It keeps it exotic. You know, you can do higher chance things. You know, tasks, strikes, things like that have a better chance of dropping them. But it's called an exotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It should be exotic. It shouldn't be something that everybody gets this every time they do that one thing or this other thing. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't mind it. You know, I feel bad for the dudes that never get that exotic they're trying to get, and they just grind and grind and grind and grind. You know, like the husk of the pit crap from Crota. They're just looking for that.
Oh wow,
that stupid ass thing from the like. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, it's like that's what makes it. That's what makes it fun. The pursuit is fun because of it. You know? So don't take the exotic out of the exotic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
I think that would be actually
give me
a really
some
great
new
way.
shit, God damn it!
Give this man something good. No, I think that'd be a great way to handle it. You know, just having some sort of prime attunement-esque buff for you when you reach a certain height, where it's just like, yeah, you get a better chance at exotic drop rates. I was going to ask you guys what your thoughts on 3 of Coins coming back was. Like, is that something you'd have a problem with coming back?
I personally don't want to see it come back.
Really?
I kind of like where I am in the game. I'm still grinding the shit out of everything, and I'm not crying over not getting an exotic. You know what I mean? Like when I get one, I'm like, ooh, piece of candy. Like I was with the Oath Keepers. I used that for like a full week, and like an idiot, I infused early, but I was infusing into that guy, and just like this is fun. Like I don't have to worry about knocking my bow again, or it just like kind of like getting squeamish and then flying off the handle. So like I don't know, like it was fun. It was a unique piece. I was really excited when it dropped, and like since then maybe I've had like a duplicate from like a year 1 weapon drop, but that still was exciting because it was a yellow piece of candy. You know what I mean? So at this point, 3 of Coins, I don't feel like they should come back. I feel like we've had them for so long that maybe people have kind of relied on them a little too heavily.
Yeah.
But like right now where we are, I like the rarity.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even though they existed in the vanilla state of D2, they didn't really work.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't need to.
Yeah. Well, that's true. They really didn't need to. Yeah, I'm with Dan in this. I like the fact that it's exciting to see that exotic engram pop out again, and compare and contrast to vanilla D2, where it's just like every other public event. Hey, there you go. Take a yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now it's legitimately exotic feeling, like it's so rare. But yeah, no, I don't want them. I wouldn't want to see the 3 of Coins return.
Has anybody played the Trickster mission since they did it the first time?
Since the first time, no.
I have.
I get that Pavlovian reaction every time I see an exotic drop from that one bad guy. I'm like, oh, I got a piece of candy, and then I go and pick it up, and it starts ticking down.
Yeah.
Terrible time, my friends. Terrible time.
Surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dropping those little golden bombs all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a side note, can we get that as a Crucible Labs at some point, please? Thank you.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm super down for the rarity of these things again.
So that's fair enough. I would certainly like to see more exotic quests in the game, especially for armor. I don't think we've ever had an exotic quest tied to armor.
No.
Within Destiny as a franchise, have we?
Wait, what was that?
Like an exotic quest tied to armor, like an exotic piece of armor.
No.
Yeah, I don't think we ever have it. I don't know why that is. I would love it.
Can't shoot armor. I think that's why.
This is true. You can't shoot armor, but armor can make you shoot better. I would love it if there was an exotic quest for like the chromatic fire. That's like the one piece of exotic armor I want to get from Forsaken. It's the warlock chest piece that makes it so all of your kinetic weapons, all of your kinetic primary kills do firefly. That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I want it, but I'm basically rolling the dice on whether or not I get it on from a pretty large loot pool of exotic armor and weapons. With an already small drop rate for exotic engrams, so there's no real way for me to get it. I would love it if we had some more exotic quests in the game that you could just kind of roll for and work towards getting an exotic like that.
Yeah. Radaka in chat just corrected us. The faction class items in D1 were exotic.
True. The faction class items for reaching, what was it, rank 50 or whatever? The factions in D1, that is absolutely true. Why do we not have that? That's about to get me on a rant about faction rallies. Faction rallies are dumb. I hope they're being completely revamped, Bungie, because
sun's getting mighty low there, big guy.
Hopefully, faction rallies come back in a meaningful way, because I miss the meaningful grind for that. I miss having my special faction rewards, my faction ship, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to mixing a little bit of RNG drop rates as well as exotic quests. Hey, Nim, buddy, what'd you spend your week doing?
Literally Gambit. That's it. That's all I've been doing. I don't know what the hell a Nightfall is. I don't know what the Daily Heroic is. All I know, live and breathe, is Gambit. Holy shit, dude. Oh my god. All right. So the quest dropped on Tuesday, and a buddy of mine sent me a message. He was like, hey.
By the way, time gated, everybody, by the way. So I feel real bad for all you people who went through like double rank resets of infamy with Gambit. Time gate, baby.
This guy. All right. So a good buddy of mine sent me a text message on Tuesday. Like, it was like around 11. I had just gotten done doing the PD reset video, and he's like, hey man, how's it going? You maybe gonna play some Gambit this week? Maybe read a little Reddit? And I was like, oh no. So I rushed to Reddit, and sure enough, one of the first like upvoted articles is that somebody killed the servitor, the Ascendant Prime, which is a random spawn in a match point in Gambit. And if your team manages to beat him, you'll get the Seething Heart, which kicks off the quest for the Malfeasance. However, there is no way to trigger this boss to spawn. It is entirely random.
Yeah,
and it does have to be in a match point. So he'll never spawn in the first round, but he can spawn in the subsequent second rounds. So got the video up to PD, started playing Gambit at around 11:30 in the morning. It was midnight, and that thing had not spawned yet. I think I maybe took like an hour or two of a break, and that goddamn meatball had not spawned. By the end of the night, I was just so mega defeated. I went to bed super salty about it, and it wasn't up until the next morning. First thing I did is just right back into Gambit. Yeah. 7 games in, it finally spawned, and I nearly had a heart attack.
Spent 12 hours.
12 hours
trying to get this thing to spawn in Gambit.
Yeah, it is unbelievable. And fun fact, once the curse resets in the Dreaming City, his spawn chances are considerably lower.
Really?
How?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So he has a higher chance of spawning, and I'm using higher chance very loosely when the curse is in full effect. But yeah, he still has a minute chance of spawning when the reset comes around. But
well, at least you know when you have to take off from work. Just that third week.
I mean, I ain't working right now, so I'm gonna be hunting for this guy. What's frustrating though is that, for example, like I'm chasing the Gambit title, which is Dredgen, and one of the requirements to get that title is that you need to collect all of the vanity items for Gambit, which includes the Ghost and the Ship and Sparrow. And the way you get these is by killing the servitor again. You know, on your second kill, you'll get the Sparrow, and on your third kill, you'll get the ship.
Oh no!
So yeah, you can't really you can't advance and you can't progress towards that title because you have to rely on this random spawn. And I saw him today, and unfortunately, I had a team who seemed like they were sitting on their thumbs because we didn't kill it.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it was sad.
Oh, yikes!
Yeah, so
have you seen him at Pug?
Gives him a stern face.
Get out of here, man.
That was a dad face if I have ever seen one.
Right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I haven't been able to. No, the short answer is no. No.
Yeah.
That ain't it, Chief. I ain't about it, man. I have played a little bit of Gambit over the course of the week, mainly just getting my milestones done. I'm not going to grind for that thing. I spent maybe about 2-3 hours in Gambit over the course of this week. Did not see it spawn at all. I'm not gonna sweat trying to get this thing because it looks like the spawn rate for that boss. If there's not some special way to get it to spawn that just everybody hasn't figured out yet, it looks like the just random chance to get that server to spawn is so incredibly low that it's not worth banging your head against the wall to get it. And that's the kind of RNG that I don't like.
Yeah,
because it's RNG chance at getting the boss to spawn. Then you have to hope you're with a good enough team that's going to be able to actually kill the thing before the other team, kills theirs. And if they don't, you're screwed. There's no guarantee that you're ever going to see that thing again.
I mean, I today I spent a good chunk of the day in Gambit as well, and I saw him just once, and unfortunately, my team was just too far behind in terms of DPS. I think there was a dude using a bow. I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
But yeah, because part of me wants to say that I wish that there was some kind of like prerequisite that you have to meet in the Gambit match in order to get this thing to spawn, just because again the spawn rates are so low. But I don't know, at the same time it's like, would that make it too easy? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like you're begging for a cheese to show up.
Yeah.
With something like that.
Yeah.
If there's one thing that this community has proven time and time again is that they can find a cheese. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're gonna find it. And
100%.
A prerequisite for making it spawn show up on there's gonna be a cheese. And then it loses its value at that
Exactly.
point.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's like a max light level kind of thing. Like once you've hit that or gotten close to that max light level, and you're not chasing a whole bunch of other stuff unless you're chasing that certain weapon or that certain that's a good activity for a couple of you guys that you normally play with to get in there and just smash your face against the wall for 12 hours or whatever.
Yeah. And it's crazy because this is tied to a character. So if, for example, if you're sick and tired of playing one subclass and you go on another class, and by any chance it happens to spawn, you're not going to progress. Yeah, you're not going to progress. You're going to get the malfeasance. Yeah, you're going to get the malfeasance quest from the beginning. So you have to stay on that character if you want to try and go for whatever else that you need.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
that's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's rough. I mean, the quest for the malfeasance shortly thereafter is not as bad. You just got to play a lot of Gambit. But fun fact though, if by any chance anybody does have the quest, when you get to the strike portion of the quest, there's a little awesome bug that I really like. So it's the strike is the corrupted strike, the new one from the Dream. And it's at a 580 power level, so it's incredibly high. However, you can take 6 people into this strike.
For whatever reason.
for whatever reason it is, you can load in with your fire team of 3 and then just have 3 more people join and you can go through this strike as a 6-man fire team. And let me tell you, it's some of the silliest fun like I've had in a strike in a while, because it's just like, and we were very low on power as well. I think maybe our highest was like 570. And everybody else is just like getting one-shotted by the Axiom darts from from the Cabal, but it was really cool. However, because it is a bug, there is a possibility that the game could crash because you're pretty much overusing the memory in that strike. So just be careful if you do intend on taking 6 people through there. It's a little more forgiving on PC, I believe, but yeah, like it's fun. I'm hoping they do more 6-player activities like that. But
me too.
Yeah, it was cool.
Fun stuff. Well, you want to give us a speed review of the Malfeasance? Is this even worth grinding for?
It's okay.
There we go.
It's okay. It's a very niche type of a weapon. The utilities that it has, it really only sort of kind of shines in Gambit because it deals additional damage to Taken and Gambit invaders. The exotic perk, you need to shoot 5 rounds into a target, and on the 5th, all of the shots that you previously fired into him will like do these little mini explosions and deal like a little burst damage on there. It's very minimalistic in terms of actual DPS that it outputs. Because the Malfeasance is a 180 RPM type of hand cannon, you blow through ammo like crazy, especially when you tie that into with the fact you need to shoot 5 rounds into a target. So you already start off with like super low ammo in reserves. I think you start off with 80. And that you blow through that like crazy. Oh, wow. Yeah, like I think the max is like maybe 110 it can carry. And I'm telling you, like once I got the weapon, I took it into Last Wish because I'm a masochist. And I took it into Strike, Nightfall. Well, yeah, and it's in a land where, you know, go figure, Ace of Spades, Sleeper Simulant, in land where that exists, the Malfeasance will just not shine because it will get outshot by pretty much any other weapon out there. So it really does need a little bit of a buff.
What improvements could you see them making to the gun to make it more viable?
Trigger the explosions on the 3rd shot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, trigger it on the 3rd shot. Increase the damage that the explosions do because again, it's very minimalistic. If you're shooting like a regular red bar enemy, you are going to kill that ad in maybe a shot or 2. You know, precision. So you're really never going to get use of the exotic perk to begin with. Yep. And again, the ammo is a big one because you blow through ammo like crazy. But I mean, other than that, like just the utility is just so niche to Gambit. You know, like
and even then, it's niche to Taken and Gambit.
Exactly, to Taken and Gambit, and maybe maybe the occasional invader if you don't get Sleeper Simulant across the map.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they definitely would have to increase the damage on that, but
that ain't it, Chief.
Yeah,
Pug just looks so upset right now.
That thing's gotta go.
Getting a nerf sometime soon. They're gonna be knocking that aim assist and something else to it.
Yeah, Radaka in chat says it most likely shines on Prime Evils. Hardly even at that, man.
Yeah,
and that's another thing. You go through that ammo like crazy, and you'll maybe do like 5% of damage on like a Prime Evil or something. It's
You're
just
better served with an Ikelos shotgun or a sleeper. Or
yeah.
Or something else.
Exactly.
I haven't gotten Malfeasance yet, but I've watched some gameplay of it. Friend of ours, Imtash, he had a review up of it, and so I watched it. I looked at the abilities of it, and it really looks like it's a problem of its special abilities being far too narrow for the type of game that Destiny is. It's really only useful in Gambit against invaders or against Taken, where it deals slightly more damage than average. If you're using it in PvP, you're not going to get the benefits of the explosion very often. It's 5 shots before that happens. You're either dead by that time, or if you're landing 5 shots and you haven't killed somebody in PvP yet, somebody else is about to round that corner and come at you. So you're not really going to get much benefit from the explosion there. You're getting no benefit from the bonus damage to Taken or invaders in normal PvP. So essentially what you've got is a high rate of fire hand cannon that's just not that special at all.
Yeah, exactly.
This really weird spot where like it's just both of its special abilities don't shine at all. And I would definitely agree. Maybe knock that requirement down to 3 shots before the explosion triggers.
Yeah,
I think that if that explosion is enough to kill in PvP, regardless of armor, we're getting into Thorn territory, which I'm happy with. Stay mad. I'm happy with it. But you were talking before the show that one of give it to me. But you were talking before the show that somebody who works at Bungie was like also expressing kind of the same sentiment that the gun could use a bit of a rework.
Yeah. I had posted a video of. I actually managed to get an army of 1 medal with solely the malfeasance in a gambit. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, he commented on there expressing the same things that I had mentioned beforehand, that the explosions need to trigger at 3 rounds instead of 5.
Yeah.
And they just need to do more damage because you need utility of the gun outside of gambit. You want to have a reason to replace the sleeper or your ace or your
it's got to be
good
enough.
whisper. It has to be good. And just right now, don't get me wrong, I love the shit out of the gun in terms of like lore and visual design. It's a beautiful weapon. It just needs more utility outside of gambit and inside of gambit.
Outside and inside of gambit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully we see something big with that in a patch sometime in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
I want it to be good. There's a lot of really good exotics right now, and I want Malfeasance to be up there with them.
Yeah, me too.
All right, what else did we have to talk about this week? There's actually kind of a lot of stuff we're going to have to lighten through real quick. Breakthrough, new PvP game mode. Did anybody play it?
Oh, yeah.
I've played it.
One game.
Really? Pug, did you play it?
I did, yeah.
Let me know what you think, man.
I enjoyed it. I think it's a great team game, actually, because you have an objective to pursue while trying to kind of stave off the enemy.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't playing with anybody that I was actually in chat with, so I was kind of running it by myself. So I kind of took it upon myself to be the go-get-'em guy and just bomb as fast as I could to get to their side of the objective and just start shooting so that I keep them away. And it seemed to be pretty effective, but the couple of matches that I played, we won. So it just kind of, you get 1 or 2 stragglers come running in there that make it through, and by that time the rest of the team can handle them. So
yeah.
I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's got any longevity for me. I can see myself knocking out 2, 3, maybe 4 matches a day or something like that, just to do it. But
right.
Yeah, like I said, longevity though, I don't know if it has any sort of legs for me in that regard.
I played a game of it at the behest of a buddy of mine, Converse. He was just like, "Yeah, dude, try it out. Like, it's really easy to get to roll people in it." And I was like, "All right, well, we'll give it a shot." And we went in 4 stack, and we did 1 round of it today, and I don't know. Are these maps going to be used for general PvP, for general competitive or quick play? Do we know if they'll be added to that pool?
I think I think some of them already are, because what are the maps that were added in, like that Trials-esque map? The Dreaming City. Yeah, those are already in the normal rotation.
Okay, and both quick play and competitive.
I've run into the Trials-esque map and the Dreaming City map in quick play.
Okay, man, they're like the one that we played today. I want to say that was the Dreaming City one. That was super small. It didn't feel like a 6-person map. Which when it comes to quick play, holy shit, there's just going to be a lot of people who are just like, oh, right here at your spawn, click, click, bang, bang, and that kind of came to me later. We ran 4 stack, and it was hard to keep. It was hard to keep people on the enemy team, actually, because people kept quitting out.
Ooh.
So it was I think at the end we had 3. It was us versus 3, but we had already rolled them hard enough that it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
Right.
The match length, I felt like the match length was just long enough. And if you have an experienced team on the opposite end, like if you're going team versus team, you're gonna be fine, I think, and have a competitive match where it maybe goes a little over. But like yeah, rolling on blues, that was yeah, that was a thing that we did. So it sucked. I don't normally like rolling like doing that, but in the one match that I played, I'll take it.
Bad about it. Like,
I did. I actually did.
Dub.
That was a
yeah, it was a win.
Sorry, kind of.
But I'm not a competitive player anyway, so like yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to really play any of Breakthrough, so all I've seen is some live stream footage of it. It looks like a pretty good game mode. I'll probably give it a shot, you know, before it goes away for a little bit. But glad to see you guys enjoyed yourself in it.
It's pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
The Trials map, however, is pretty laney with like pulse rifles.
It is, and the back. I think it might be a spawn. That's a really entrenched starting position. Holy crap! You can just sit inside a building and guard every lane that comes close to that spawn position. They might need to do something about that. Oh man, I had a game or two go to time on that map just because the enemy team realized, oh, if we sit back here inside of this building, we can watch every entrance to this building. There's no way to flank around behind us and just run out the clock.
Yeah.
So it's Tilted Towers?
It's Tilted Towers.
Well, it gets people tilted, all right.
Oh, it gets me tilted. You get your boy TBL tilted. I'll be the meteor that breaks those towers this time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it out. I'm enjoying the new maps. Pantheon is still great, you know. I enjoyed the Dreaming City map. All I play on it is Control. But yeah, you flip spawns like crazy. That is a small map. It is.
Yeah.
I see Black Fox, our buddy here in chat. It's basically a smaller Pantheon, which is
in terms of like lanes.
In terms of lanes.
Oh.
Yeah.
It felt really small. It literally felt like there was maybe 3 rooms and then 2 off to the side. It didn't feel like you had a lot of space to maneuver. And if you flank hard.
Gotcha.
There's nothing about there's just nothing.
You push on it.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I guess for the mode it works, but I don't know about longevity wise in like quick play.
Right.
Because 6 people on that, like 12 people on that map? No, I don't want that.
It's like Nuketown, but for the Destiny universe.
Yeah.
Throw grenades and start running.
Yeah.
Right.
Just straight rust. MW2.
You know it's a small map when I killed 2 people with a grenade. 2. Like, and it was like a it was a suppressor grenade, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? I should not be doing this.
That's pretty great.
To get 1 kill with a suppression grenade in D2. What's going on here, man?
Like, kill. That's it. 2? Fuck.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Breakthrough. This was, of course, their trial run for the game mode, so we'll see what they're going to do with it when they bring it back as a full comp game mode later on. What else did we have go on this week? We got some Iron Banner changes coming. Did everybody get a chance to play in the Iron Banner last week? Well, week before last week now.
Yeah.
Same here, just a little bit. I didn't get enough to complete all the weekly bounties because there wasn't much reason to. It was only 2 powerful reward drops, and I didn't feel like going through all that trouble. Well, we've got some changes coming to the next Iron Banner. They cut down the requirements for quite a few of the bounties. Basically, all the big ones that caused me some problems. The one bounty that was like, get 30 wins. Ha! Wasn't doing that. It's now 15. There was one to get like 100 precision kills. Now it's like 50. So they're cutting down on the time that it takes to complete those bounties, which is all well and good. But the more important thing there is that every weekly bounty from Lord Saladin now is going to drop powerful gear. Thank you.
Yes.
That was my number 1 complaint about the Iron Banner last time. What was that?
I said that'll make me play all week.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. I enjoyed the new Crucible environment, but I couldn't convince myself to spend a lot of time playing Iron Banner when it was here a week or so ago because the rewards just weren't up to par. So now knowing that
you had 2
all
powerful
of those
rewards,
2, there were 2. The rest were just normal drops at around your light level. Now every weekly bounty drops powerful rewards. That is exactly what Bungie needed to do. That's going to keep me coming back on all 3 characters to get all those gains. Good stuff.
Yeah. And once again, they relax the bounties, so it's not like I feel it definitely was a slog. Like I don't think I even completed one.
Yeah,
last
don't
time.
blame you.
Last week, I didn't complete one. Yeah. Even for the powerful Ingram, it was just too much of a grind. I had other shit to do.
So. I took a look. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. Like, I saw that he was back. I went up to him. I took one look at the armor, and I was like, "See you next time, Saladin."
Not about it, huh?
Not about it. But with the change with the powerful stuff, I'm most likely gonna play it just because, like, you know, like again in D1, you know, that was Iron Banner was an alternative to get upgrades to your light level. So I'm glad that these bounties is kind of a, I guess, throwback to that. Because it was definitely another source to up your power level once you exhausted everything else. Yeah. So.
I think probably, like, besides them relaxing the bounties a little bit, the graph where they show that it's actually now a bell curve, like they show you how the power matters in Forsaken. That's super interesting to me.
That's cool.
Like, yeah, because especially stacked up against all the other iterations of Iron Banner, that it makes a lot more sense comparatively.
Yeah.
It's also nice for people to know exactly how, being under-leveled in the Iron Banner is going to affect them, because a lot of people had some speculation about it. All I knew was that Shoulder Charge wasn't taking down people in one shot.
Oh, yeah.
The one match that I played, I was like, when there was my instrumental skill for it. The first dude, I hit him, and he lived, and I just sat there, like, looking at, like, what?
You both stopped, shocked, just looking at each other.
And then he just high-fived. Bink!
Oh, he high-fived me, all right. He sure did, because I was dead shortly thereafter, but it was like, oh, wow, cool, all right, neat. Can't exploit that there.
Yeah, definitely interesting. So, yeah, I was happy to see them put that out there, too.
As a just kind of random question to you guys, do you guys miss, because I know I do, I miss the shit out of it. Do you guys miss the end game reward screen where you can see and inspect everybody else's, like, drops?
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Because then you know who to get mad at.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. Because now all I gotta do is sit back and bitch about my bullshit. Whereas before I didn't know what anybody, except for somebody going, "Oh, I got to whatever the insert awesome hit here."
Yeah.
Thing. So yeah, good. Especially when you see like the bottom dude that's got like a .19.
Little Timmy No Thumbs.
Back, like, man,
he didn't deserve that, Hawk Moon.
That was little Timmy many a time. I enjoyed seeing that on the screen.
Unless you're that guy, then of course, yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, there's some merit to it, I suppose. You want to say
absolutely
young people.
Yeah.
I miss seeing other people's drops. And it's like, oh, he got a Nea's Luna, and then you hover over and it's garbage, and it's like, suck it. Yeah.
Gonna melt that one.
Yeah.
In my clan, we have a strong tradition post raid, especially after like they introduced the raid ghost of whoever gets the raid ghost is the one who gets kicked. So it would just make it that much easier to do that.
That's pretty great.
See, that wouldn't work back in D1 because the equivalent would be whoever gets Yallarhorn becomes fire team lead because now we need you to beat the boss. Can't do that in D1. Oh man. But what else did we have going on this week? Oh, we got a response to the Masterwork Core economy.
Oh, we're a fan of that here.
Yeah.
You wanna tell me how you're feeling over there, TBL?
I don't.
You want to tell me?
I really don't. I really don't want to tell you how I'm feeling about it because I'm not feeling good about it.
What don't you feel good about?
Oh my god! So the problem with Masterwork Cores was never the fact that they're called Masterwork Cores. I just want to put this out there for Bungie. The name is not the problem. The name Masterwork Core was never the problem. It's the fact that Masterwork Cores is a requirement for Infusion really doesn't have any sort of place being a requirement for Legendary Infusion. That's the problem there.
Yeah.
That part of the TWAB, it confused and hurt me in ways that I
So when are they going to change the name to Motes of Light?
Maybe that's what's maybe that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna call them Infusomatics or Motes of Light or something like that. But
I feel like they saw the infusion system as more of a I guess they probably took it as in a fashion sense. It's like, hey, if you really want to use this piece of gear, it's gonna cost you. It's, instead of rather than just use whatever starts dropping from the get-go and just, you know, infuse it into that and just kind of a quick thing. But that's probably why they did that. It's like it's more of an end game. Like once you've like hit max power and you want to like finalize your fashion and your perks and stuff like that, that's probably why they did that.
It's a time gate. It's a time gate. It's not progression. It's not meaningful grind. It's a time gate to keep you from using what you want, which doesn't feel good in a game like this. I'm not mad. No, you're mad.
Could have fooled me.
I'm happy. I've got a smile on my face. This is good.
This is the smile of a broken man.
Pug, do you have any opinions on the Masterwork Core thing?
Not a bit.
Yeah.
Not even a little bit. No. I when all that crap came out with Curse of Osiris or whatever, I've stopped playing the game because I was like, this is some dumbass shit. I have no reason to do this.
Yep.
And I stopped. So and now it's just like, oh, that thing's still here. What do I do with that?
Yeah.
I got to use it to infuse or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. So no, not really.
I don't know. It definitely. I'm glad that they're kind of looking into it and being like, yes, there needs to be more ways for you to get this thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm glad that they're looking at it and agreeing with most of the population. I understand the time gate thing, and I've seen Broman, like I saw his tweets about it being like something that he enjoyed because he feels like it makes when you infuse something more meaningful. Like philosophically, it makes it more meaningful to you when you use it. I don't know, man. I feel like it has. You can still have that philosophical meaning, and also the utility of the item.
Yeah.
And like we have a consumable that you can pop that when you kill a boss, you have a chance at a masterwork.
Right.
Once that is done, you have to pop another one and another one, and another one. It's just how that one rolls.
Yep.
I feel like that should be like the Glimmer one. I think I said this last week, but I feel like that should be like the Glimmer consumable where it lasts for 4 hours, and just as you're killing bosses, a masterwork popped up. That would be cool. Like
a buff rather than a consumable that disappears.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's certainly a lot of different opinions on the issue right now. I've seen a lot of people talking about, how they feel about it, whether they like it, whether they dislike it. My argument has always just been that when it comes to a system like this, infusion isn't progression. That's not power progression. If you're infusing something, that means you've already got the power. You've already got your 379 thin line that you hate because it's terrible and has bad perks. All the infusion system is doing is letting you say, this weapon I don't like using, I'm going to put it into this weapon, this perfectly rolled Better Devils that I do like using. It's not a progression of power, that's just letting you use the weapons and armor that you want to use. And I can understand the drive to want to make infusion meaningful. I would argue that infusion becomes meaningful when you take that one weapon that you love more than everything else and push it to max power. I would argue the point of wanting to make something super meaningful would be going through the process of shoving those masterwork cores in to get it to a level 10 masterwork. That's the meaningful choice there. That takes a significant amount of grind to get those masterwork cores. It takes a lot of choice, to pick the weapon that you want to push to level 10 masterwork. Let that be the meaningful choice for players right there. You shouldn't have to tie this sort of system, this arbitrary time gate for an item that isn't farmable in the game right now under normal means.
Yeah.
Even that consumable that you were talking about, that's a random drop. There's no guaranteed way to get that. It's a random drop from the world space. The only real way to get a consistent amount of Masterwork cores is buying them from the spider, which you can do every day for an increasing cost of legendary shards, which kind of screws over newer players to the game who don't have thousands of legendary shards. Yeah, like that.
Started playing on PC and it's not great.
It's rough.
Yeah.
And so really all Masterwork cores in terms of infusion it's just a time gate to keep you not from growing more powerful. You're still growing more powerful because you're getting drops. It's just keeping you from using the gear that you want. And I argue in a game like Destiny, that doesn't really fit the spirit of the game quite as much. That's my argument.
Yeah.
How I feel about it.
Yeah.
In calm words. I just thought it was so weird for Bungie to come in this week's TWAB and then say, we're unhappy with the Masterwork core system as well. That's why we're changing the name. What do you mean? That was just such a weird
when faced with adversity, rebrand.
Bubble. You just bubble deflect all of it away. Oh boy. Is it time for questions?
I believe it is.
I believe it is.
On. It is that time of the show where we take some questions in from chat. As usual, we've got a guest here. Direct your questions towards him so that we can sit quiet for the next couple of minutes while he answers them. That's right. This is
So I do have a couple questions for Pug. So with what is the history of the event? Breathe Easy. Why CF specifically?
That's a pretty good question. CF is a very little known in itself. Within Dads of Destiny, we had a member that actually had CF and ultimately passed away because of CF. They started it. His clan started a event in his memory. Since then, it's kind of grown into the annual kind of identity of Dad's Destiny charity, and as such, we continue to do it annually and just kind of finding a way to grow it, raise awareness for CF. The member that passed away from it was also a doctor that researched it, so he pretty much, whether he wanted to or not, had dedicated his life to CF in one way, shape, or form. And so we kind of picked up the torch and just kept carrying it along. Moving forward, we kind of that's kind of where I got involved into things. Was I like charity for the sake of charity, and that's it. I'm not looking for anything else out of it other than to just see the reward at the end of the day, which is I know I helped somebody doing something good. So I started looking at charities and whatnot, and you see the big ones that everybody knows, like the cancer stuff and things like that. That's easily identifiable. Within CF, I started looking around at some of the charities, and I found Boomer Esiason Foundation, and they had the same goals in mind, which was they're raising awareness for CF. They're raising money for patients with CF, and they're using that money to help people with CF. It's not going to some big giant mega fund that you can't figure out why there's so much money there because it makes no damn sense. And that's why I was kind of like, hey, last year when we got involved, I pushed on it a little bit and didn't get a lot of resistance at all. Everybody was pretty much on board with it. So started working with them, and we just continue on to this year to keep raising money for Boomer Esiason Foundation. We're doing that through Tiltify for the second time this year, which has been an outstanding.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome. I mean, you guys saw what they did with Guardian Con and stuff like that, where everything went through them basically, and it was amazing what they did. And for those guys to be able to handle that kind of volume in itself is impressive. So we continued on with those guys as well. Boomer Esiason Foundation is registered with Tiltify, so if any of you listeners out there happen to kind of run across Tiltify and are just looking for a place to give away money on the old hack machine, just take a look at Boomer Esiason Foundation. The money goes directly to patients. There's very, very low overhead as far as people involved, administration fees and things like that. Um, that's a kind of another thing too. A little plug for doing charity stuff. If you find yourself wanting to donate to charity and things like that, do the research on the charity you're donating to. It's very quick. It's very easy. Look at their financials real quick. Make sure you know where your money's going. You don't, it sucks when you do a donation to somebody thinking you're giving them $5. They're going to use $5 for something good to help somebody that needs $5. It's terrible when you find out that $5 turned into 50 cents for somebody that actually needed it, and that was one cool thing with Boomer Esiason Foundation was that they gave us the opportunity to select where we wanted that money to go to within their organization. So to my knowledge, based on what they asked me the day we gave them the money and said, hey, this is the total, they said, where do you want it to go? And to me, it was like, this is easy. It's going to transplants, people that need lungs, because CF is a terminal disease. There's no cure for it. The only way that you can beat it is by getting a double lung transplant and then hoping you beat all the other stuff that's on top of that because of the CF. So the odds are stacked against these guys, and they need every last bit of help they can get, with awareness, even if just people know about it. And you have a conversation with somebody, most people won't even know what it is. You hear the word cystic fibrosis, and the last time I talked to somebody about it, they're like, "Oh, is that like a brain disease?" No, that's a lung disease that it affects the entirety of the body. It's not just the lungs. The lungs is what, I mean, you got to be able to breathe, and at some point, you get to a point where you can't breathe anymore. So the double lung transplant's the first, like, this is what you got to get, and if you don't get this, at some point, it's ultimately going to take you down. So, yeah.
Well, excellent. Thank you guys so much for doing all that you guys do in the community, that you guys have done in the community as a whole, for Destiny and for cystic fibrosis and everything. Thank you guys. It's a pleasure to have you, Pug.
You guys having us on, getting the word out like this is huge for us. All the media outlets that are helping us out, getting the streamers on board. Dan, that's what, your second year? I know for sure your second year.
It is my second year.
So we got a lot of return guys this year too. So
yeah, my hunter is again on the line. So we'll see.
No, not again.
You heard it.
I'm gonna keep putting it out until it becomes a pain.
Yeah, we're holding it to. We're holding you to it for sure. What's the weapon we're gonna make you get rid of this year?
Oh my god. Well, it would be the hunter. It'd just be the hunter,
just
I think.
The whole hunter.
Yeah, and whatever is on it.
Whatever's on it.
I'm so sad.
No.
Don't go changing that loadout just for
well, I didn't think that was part of the rules, but okay, fine, Dad.
Can't back out now.
Can't back out now. It's all good. It's on a podcast. Perfect. People will forget.
Good incentive.
Right. These aren't archived at all.
Yeah, exactly. No, not at all. The internet doesn't realize that this is a thing that's forever, so it's fine.
Hey, so along the lines with the charity event, I appreciate you circling back to this and kind of giving me a chance to talk about it a little bit, because I kind of got starstruck, I guess, with the lights in my face and kind of anyways.
Well, you did walk into our studio and ask immediately, where's the nearest light?
All right, fair enough. So in addition to the streamers that we have on board, which there's a ton of them, I encourage you guys to check out the Twitter and on Dads of Destiny Twitter. You'll kind of catch some of the videos that'll plug kind of who's helping us out this year. But we also have a ton of great items we're giving out this year. Original art that was done specifically for the event by Belmere, Lazy Summerstone. Young Khan's helping us out. You guys might have paid attention to Guardy Khan and all. You would have seen him on there. A bunch of the guys.
He has wonderful eyes.
What's that?
He has wonderful eyes.
I'll take your word for it. Destiny community artists is huge, as they are every year, with bringing in great artists and great pieces, multiple pieces to be won. Boomer Esiason Foundation is providing us with a bunch of signed gear, footballs, jersey, helmet. And we got a nice little treat from the New York Jets this year with a I can't remember what they exactly called it, but it's an autograph, lithograph, I think is what, or something like that. Signed team signed football that you can only get from the Jets. You can't go out and buy it unless you're buying it from somebody who already had one. So we got a lot of great stuff. And for the Euro guys, we got some really cool stuff with the PlayStation 4 console and game codes for Forsaken on Xbox and PlayStation. So and really actually cool. Some PC guys too. Yeah, we got you guys covered also. So
right on.
Tons of stuff.
Excellent. Fantastic. Shall we get into some community questions?
Yeah, let's do a couple.
All right. Arbiter Priest 56, he's got a few on this list. Do you think Bungie should implement a system that allows clans to design their own banner a la Diablo 3? What would yours look like?
Yes.
Yes.
Very yes.
Yes.
Nim, you start.
You know where I'm going with this, Dan.
No, I don't. I have no idea where you're going with it, Nim.
Yes,
where are you going?
Yes, you do, Dan. You guys know my brand.
Shrimp.
Yeah, they yeah, exactly exactly where he was going with it.
Yeah, I assume that when they announced the whole clan banner thing and the expansion of the clan system in Destiny 2, I kind of assumed that's what was going to happen. I thought we would be able to design our own clan banners rather than the kind of bare bones system we got. And I hope that changes. I hope that's something that we get in the future. I'd love to be able to design my own clan banner. I have no idea what I would make it look like. Not a clue what I would do. It depends on the tools that would be available to me, but I know I'd love to do something creative. Absolutely.
Pug, what about you?
I have thoughts in my head of actually memories of some of the stuff that I saw in Call of Duty pop in. And for that reason alone, I remain on the fence because one part of me is like, yes, I want to have an absolutely absurd clan banner that actually reflects my clan, which we are a band of misfits for sure. The other side of me is like, man, those guys with all the nonsense, like, and you know what I'm talking about.
Dicks everywhere. That's all right.
Dicks. I mean, it's funny, so I can appreciate it for sure. Whatever. I can give a dad answer, which is no, there should be no dicks in games. However, dicks are kind of funny sometimes. So.
Kind of funny.
Oh, man.
That should be a quote in the channel. However, dicks are kind of funny sometimes.
No dicks in games. However.
I would kind of want like a Ronnie James Dio or like a Megadeth album cover kind of clan banner thing. Just something that looks majestic and weird and awesome.
Like a downloadable, like you could upload, or actually upload a picture too. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would be a nightmare. I think.
For all the reasons previously mentioned.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Black Box, what is your favorite Crucible map and why is it Retribution?
We know why his favorite map is Retribution. It's a big circle. Grab that tractor cannon and you just keep walking in a circle.
That sounds like my my OP strats.
Retribution is the previously PlayStation exclusive Crucible map that was made available to everybody alongside Forsaken. It is a very shotgun ape heavy map. If you are a shotgunning ape, that is your place to be. That's Jungle Japes, baby.
Wait, Retribution, that's the Cabal ship, right?
I think so.
I think so.
That was a PlayStation exclusive? Interesting.
Yep.
That explains why I never saw it on PC.
That explains why it never popped up before the last couple of weeks. Yeah.
Well, you're going to see it more now.
That makes sense now. Well, gosh darn it.
I enjoy it.
Time to get my my fusions at the ready.
Good luck.
All right. Vanilla Evil asks, with the Shattered Throne going away for 3 weeks, do you think that Bungie has something amazing planned for the next 2 weeks? I can only hope so, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
we're just gonna repeat the cycle that we had with Forsaken.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, because it's gonna allow everybody to catch up and get stuff that they weren't able to get and whatnot.
Yeah, I jumped into the DDU podcast accidentally at the wrong time and learned some lore implications to the 3-week cycle. And
as far as Savathun's little going on about in there.
Yeah. So
just keep feeding that worm, baby.
We made an oops.
If it was like, if we had like a week, every story has like its climax, and it feels like this is the climax for it.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're just, instead of getting the finale for it, we're just gonna keep feeding.
Yep.
It's Groundhog Day for 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I would agree. I'd say this is probably the end of the at least the big rush of new stuff concerning the Dreaming City storyline, at least until we get another content release. This week's probably just going to restart the cycle. We'll be back to saving Sadia and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, when you really think about it, like, we're super close to October, and Festival of the Lost was teased, so I'm sure that's going to be the next big thing that we'll see in Destiny's timeline.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's see if we do one more.
Sure.
All right, sounds good. Which number 1 or number 2 of our Arbiter Priest questions?
Let's do number 2.
All right, sounds good. Arbiter Priest 56 again. Masterful question. What planet in our system that hasn't been in the game yet would you be most excited to go to?
Oof.
Uranus?
Had to be done. Oh man. I don't know, dude, because like I would love to see Saturn, but that's a gas giant, if I'm not mistaken. But then again, we have Titan, which is a giant ocean of like methane. So and technically, if we're looking at lore, the Fundament is also a gas giant with moving plates over it. So it'd be interesting if they did. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see something like that with Saturn for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Saturn. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
See,
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I'd be down with Saturn or something. I mean, we kind of sent a gigantic floating corpse there. And I'd kind of like to see the crater that Oryx made as he finally went slamming into it. But
what if we actually go there and make his ass our hat?
Prophecy fulfilled. There we can actually go and do that.
For a second there, I thought Dan was just gonna say something like pure with like substance. Like, no, we're gonna make his ass.
No, it's all dick jokes with me, bub.
That's right. That's it.
Oh God, I love you, Dan.
I love you too.
Yeah, that works. I mean, there's plenty of other locations. It's funny, if you would have asked me that question in D1, I would have said Mercury.
Oh, be careful what you ask for.
Are you sure?
It's all my fault. I'm so sorry, everyone. Curse of Osiris is my fault. I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
Now you know who to get mad at.
Yeah, just send it my way. Send it my way. It's okay.
What about you, Pug?
What planet? Next planet?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a really tough one. Because I only know like 5 planets in the solar system. And Mercury sucks, so let's not go.
It does.
I thought Saturn was basically. Never mind. I don't want to make myself look even dumber here by guessing on what it's made of. What about Jupiter? We make a gas planet where you got to wear a mask everywhere you go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'd take it.
Exos would be fine.
Yeah. Exos would be perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfectly fine.
It would dry them out. They got a can lube to carry around.
Yes. D40. Grease it up. Jupiter, the greater Jovians, that's where the 9 and all that nonsense is supposed to be happening, right?
Oh. That would be, yeah.
Let's go see what they're doing.
That'd be pretty badass. Yeah.
Go question them on why Zur can't bring Forsaken exotics. What's going on over there? You guys
We should do that before the Flaming Hot Doritos come and get us.
Oh, those are coming.
Those are coming.
Yeah, not a bad answer at all. Well, all right. I mean, I think that's a good enough stopping place. What about you guys?
Yeah.
Is that good enough for y'all?
Solid episode.
Should we call it a show? I think we could.
I believe this is what they call a show.
This is what they call a show. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to episode 172 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This one has been a really fun one. Special thanks to our guest, Mr. Pugnaceous, for being so magnanimous and joining us tonight. It's great to have you here, man.
Appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to have you here, man. And he was a representative of the Dads of Destiny. Fantastic group. Great website. Everybody should go check that out. Follow them on twitch.tv/Dads of Destiny. Be sure to check out next week's charity stream. It's going to be a good time. Our good buddy Dan's going to be there, taking all your money, wearing silly hats.
Early in the morning.
Ooh,
please do. No amount's too small.
No amount too small to make Dan do something he doesn't want to do. Remember, that is the motivation. There's the sloth hat.
How are you even going to see out of that?
Oh, it is tough. It is not easy.
I want to see you complete a raid in that hat.
We could make that a thing.
Excellent. Get it done. But all right, before we get on out of here, we do want to give our guest a chance to plug any and everything he's got. Let us know where we can find him and his group across the internet and what's going to be going on. We'll get the dates out for that charity once more. Mr. Pugnaceous, where are you, man? What you got going on?
Well, first off, obviously you can find Dads of Destiny at dadsofdestiny.net. You can also find us on Twitter at Dads of Destiny. Myself, you can find me on Twitter at Pugnaceous, spelled P-U-G as in Gulf, N-A-C-E-O-U-S. Yes, it's spelled incorrect. What makes it? And I'm on a couple other things, but you can find me on Twitch as well. I don't have anything on there. It's a failed attempt. Yeah, so that's where you can find me at Twitter and Discord, all under Pugnaceous.
Right on. And the Breathe Easy charity stream is starting this weekend, or this coming weekend, right?
Yep. Breathe Easy starts Friday at 6 a.m. Runs all the way through the weekend till the end of Sunday. And that's 3 days, almost 3 days total. So.
Right on. So make sure you Guardians are tuning in, supporting the stream, giving some money to charity. It's a good cause. We're happy to signal boost that as much as we can. Well, all right. Yes, sir. It's great to have you here, man. All right, before we get on out of here, of course, we're going to follow around and let you know where you can find us across the internet. Mr. Danfinity, where you at?
You can find me on Twitter at Danfinity, but the I's are L's. This is Nim's favorite thing in the world.
Favorite thing. I love it.
Favorite thing in the world. You can also find me on Instagram at DanFinitwitch, my old Twitter handle. Maybe I should get that back one day. Anyways, you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Danfinity, but the I's are I's. And you can find me here on Thursday morning on the Planet Destiny channel, as long as I'm not working. This week on SideQuest Sunday, we had Joe King, who is a community manager for Gearbox Software.
Yeah.
And next week we have Brickin' Nick. So like solid episodes up until we're going to be doing a season finale in November. So everything's kind of like hitting on all cylinders. So it's going to be fun.
It's awesome, dude.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nem Plays, where you at?
Twitter.com/NemPlays and Twitch.tv/NemPlays, as well as the occasional Planet Destiny video. Expect a malfeasance video within the next couple of days over on the channel.
I hope you're going to take a break from Gambit because you need it.
No, he's not.
I'm actually going to jump into it like after the call.
The actual madman.
You can see it in his eyes.
That ain't me.
It's exhausting.
Well, you can find me pretty much everywhere across the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at the Black Clink. Not playing Gambit, by the way. Not grinding for that there average hand cannon. Ain't nobody got time for that, especially not me. I'm getting on out of here. I'll be doing the usual stuff, live streams, videos on Planet Destiny. You guys know where to find me by. But all right, that is it for episode 172 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another week. We'll catch you in the next one.